everybody. So in my last video, I talked about kind of an introduction to the series that I'm going to be doing on my path and some of the ideas in my path. And I wanted to talk today about the difference between Hellenismos, which is the Greek Reconstruction, and what I practice, which is not Hellenismos. I consider myself to be like a Hellenistic witch. I worship the Greek gods, but I also practice witchcraft, and it's not Reconstruction. And I'll tell you why I chose not to go the route of Reconstruction. There's a couple different reasons. Number one, I don't see the benefit in stagnation in religion. I see religion as progressive. I see religion as a force to be reckoned with in one's life. Something that should be ever changing, something that should be, the spiritual part of one's life should be progressive. And for that reason, I don't see Reconstruction for myself as being beneficial. Not to say that it's not beneficial for other people, whatever floats your boat, but for me, I could not stick with this old idea of religion. When I chose the Greek gods, I chose them, not the ancient Greek culture. And, there are a few reasons why Greek Reconstruction in particular didn't appeal to me. Because if you're trying to reconstruct everything from the time back then with religion, you'd also have to kind of reconstruct cultural ideas. And the cultural ideas for the Greeks back then, I don't quite agree with those politically. For example, women weren't really given rights in Greek culture. They were considered mostly to be property. And, to kind of paraphrase some Aristotle, Aristotle thought that women were frigid sperm vessels to kind of, give his argument in a nutshell on the nature of men and women. He considered men to be superior because they had been well heated, and that they contained enough energy and enough heat and enough quote-unquote life force to be superior humans. And women didn't have that level of heat, and therefore didn't have protruding genitals, and therefore were not superior humans, and could never live up to a standard that a male could live up to. And so this whole Aristotelian idea of gender, I kind of have a problem with, and it's one of the major reasons why Reconstruction didn't appeal to me, because if I'm going to do Reconstruction, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to leave things out. Like I'm not saying that all Reconstructionists believe that women are frigid sperm vessels, but it's a cultural idea of the time that I cannot resonate with. And I know that, the Greeks prided themselves on their intellectual and philosophical nature. And as science and philosophy progressed and included rights for women and things like that, so would their society and did their society. And therefore, just because, their society became Christian, if their society had still been pagan, they still would have, incorporated these rights for women. And therefore, I don't see the need to reconstruct things of the past when, if you look at things progressively, there would still have been, if, say Christianity had never come to Greece, and, the Greeks had continued to have their empire and things like that, and gone to other places and incorporated different ideas to, from their path, you would have noticed that, the Greek deities would have stayed the same, but a lot of the holidays, observances, cosmology, beliefs would have, become more global. And, with this idea of kind of global culturalization, which the Greeks embodied and believed in, they believed that in this global culturalization idea, I don't see the need to center one's reconstruction on Greek alone when believing in the Greek god. So even though I believe in the Greek gods and, for the most part, the Greek gods alone, that doesn't mean that I don't feel free to incorporate cultural ideas from other cultures into my path because of that. So I hope that's not too wordy. I hope you guys understand that. As for other deities that are not part of the Greek pantheon, I haven't seen strong evidence to suggest that they exist outside of an archetypal form. But if I did, I would definitely incorporate that into my religious thinking. I wouldn't just deny it because it wasn't a Greek god per se. So, I do believe that, the Olympians are the chief gods. They have proven themselves to me. And, for that, I'll continue to incorporate different cultural ideas into my path. For example, in ancient Greece, in just about every different province, there was a different calendar and different religious holidays. And for that reason, I do not see the need to stick to their ideas of what deities should be worshipped when. I still honor the solar and lunar holidays of most witchcraft traditions. And, I also do daily prayers to my gods and things like that. And, some of the major holidays that came out of Greece and stuff like that, like Festival of Dionysus, we'll probably continue to celebrate and stuff like that. But as for the regional holidays that change from one place to another, I don't feel the need to keep those quite as strictly because, the calendar system in Greece is quite different. So, that would probably, instead of doing those, it would be more of a, still honoring the old witchcraft holiday, the 8th Sabbath, so to speak. Anyway, I've probably rambled on long enough now about, kind of some of my cultural ideas about my path. But there'll be more to come with that. Blessed be.